The power's been out for 3 days. The house is 40 degrees F inside. Your breath makes clouds, and you're standing in front of a closet full of expensive gear you thought would save you. Sleeping bags that cost $300, space heaters that need electricity, propane that ran out yesterday. All of it useless. But here's the thing. Warmth isn't expensive. It's physics, and physics runs on trash, not dollars. Let me show you 10 things you can buy for pocket change that will keep you warm when everything else fails. Not luxury items, not prepper fantasy gear, just cheap, stupid simple physics wrapped in materials you can find at a dollar store. Thing 1. Aluminum foil. Costs $1 for a roll. You're not cooking with it, you're building a radiant barrier. Here's how it works. Your body radiates heat, infrared energy bleeding into the void. Aluminum reflects that radiation back at you. Take a sheet of foil, line the inside of your jacket with it, not touching your skin, between layers. You just turned your jacket into a reflective oven. Your body heat bounces back instead of escaping. The difference is immediate. You can also line walls. Tape foil to the interior walls of your survival pod, shiny side facing in. Now the room isn't just insulated, it's reflecting your body heat back at you. It looks insane, like you're living inside a baked potato, but you're warm, and warm beats sane. Thing 2. Bubble wrap. Costs $2 for a roll. Bubble wrap is trapped air in plastic pockets. Trapped air is insulation. Each bubble is a tiny thermal barrier. Wrap it around your legs under your pants. Tape it over windows. Layer it on the floor under your sleeping area. Wear it under your jacket. Yes, you'll crinkle when you move. Yes, you'll look ridiculous, but you're also trapping a layer of still air against your body, and still air is one of the best insulators on the planet. Bonus, bubble wrap is waterproof, so it doubles as a vapor barrier, keeps moisture out, keeps warmth in. Thing 3. Newspaper. Costs free if you grab discarded ones, $1 if you buy. Crumpled newspaper is old school insulation. Stuff it in your jacket, between your shirt and your hoodie, between your hoodie and your coat. You're building air pockets. The paper traps air. Air traps heat. You can also use it to insulate walls. Tape layers of crumpled newspaper to the interior of your survival room, 3 inches thick. It's ugly, it's flammable if you're done with candles, but it's free insulation that works. Homeless shelters have known this for decades. Newspapers inside clothes, newspapers lining cardboard shelters. It's not a backup plan, it's the primary plan when you have nothing else. Thing 4. Cardboard boxes. Costs free from any store's dumpster. Cardboard is corrugated. That means it's full of air channels. Air channels mean insulation. Flatten boxes and layer them on the ground. You've just built a false floor that blocks conduction from the cold ground. Tape boxes over windows. You've blocked drafts and radiation. Cut boxes into panels and slide them inside your jacket. Medieval armor made of trash. If you're in a car, line the entire interior, walls, ceiling, floor. You're building a cardboard cave inside your vehicle. It's insulated, it's windproof, and it costs you nothing. Thing 5. Trash bags. Costs $2 for a box of 30. Trash bags are windproof. Wind is convection. Convection steals heat. Cut holes for your head and arms. Put the bag on under your jacket. You just added a windproof layer. Your body heat no longer gets ripped away by moving air. You can also use trash bags as emergency blankets. Stuff them with crumpled newspaper or dry leaves. Seal the top. Now you have an insulated sleeping bag. It crinkles, it tears if you're rough, but it traps heat, and trapped heat is survival. Trash bags are also waterproof, which means they work in rain, sleet, snow. Wet clothing kills. Dry clothing, insulated with trash bags, keeps you alive. Thing 6. Duct tape. Costs $3. Duct tape isn't just for repairs, it's for sealing gaps. Tape around door frames to stop drafts. Tape bubble wrap or cardboard to windows. Tape aluminum foil to walls. Tape layers of clothing together so they don't shift. Every gap you seal is heat you keep, and duct tape seals everything. Cold air leaks through cracks you can't see. Duct tape makes those cracks disappear. It's not elegant, but survival isn't elegant. Thing 7. Candles. Costs $1 for a pack of tea lights. Candles produce heat. Not much, but in a small sealed space, even a little heat matters. One candle produces about 80 watts of heat. That's almost as much as your resting body produces. Flash 4 candles in a small room and you've added 320 watts. That's enough to raise the temperature a few degrees. Not warm, but warmer. And warmer is the difference between miserable and unbearable. Here's the trick. You don't just light candles. You build a candle heater. Take a terracotta flower pot, flip it upside down over the candles. The pot absorbs heat and radiates it outward, slower, more evenly. You've turned 80 watts of flickering flame into a steady heat source. Just don't fall asleep with candles burning, and don't use them in a completely sealed space without ventilation. Carbon monoxide doesn't care how warm you are. Thing 8. Mylar emergency blankets. Costs $1 each. Those crinkly silver blankets you see in first aid kits, they're not blankets, they're radiant barriers. Mylar reflects 90% of your body's infrared radiation back at you. Wrap one around your body under your jacket. You've just trapped radiant heat. Tape one to the wall behind where you sleep, shiny side facing you. Now the wall isn't absorbing your heat, it's bouncing it back. You can also use Mylar as a windbreak. Tape it over a window or doorway. It blocks drafts, it reflects heat, and it costs $1. The only downside is noise. Every movement sounds like you're wrapped in a chip bag, but you're warm, and warm beats quiet. Thing 9. Wool socks. Costs $3 at a thrift store. Wool is magic. It insulates even when wet. Cotton doesn't, synthetic doesn't. Wool does, because wool fibers trap air even when they're damp. Your feet lose heat fast. Cold feet mean cold body. Cold body means bad decisions. 2 pairs of wool socks, one thin pair underneath, one thick pair over. You've just insulated your feet, and warm feet keep your core temperature stable. If you can't find wool socks, get any socks and stuff them with crumpled newspaper or dry grass or shredded plastic bags. You're building insulation inside the sock. It's lumpy, it's weird, but your feet are warm. Thing 10. A water bottle. Costs $2 for a Nalgene knockoff, or free if you just reuse an old bottle. Fill it with hot water, not boiling, hot. Seal it tight. Wrap it in a sock or towel so it doesn't burn you. Tuck it into your sleeping area, against your core, your stomach, your chest. That bottle radiates heat for hours. Water holds thermal energy better than almost anything. It releases that energy slowly, evenly, and when it finally cools down, you have drinking water. You can heat water over a candle, over a camping stove, over an open fire, or just leave a bottle in the sun during the day and use it at night. You're turning a $2 bottle into a portable radiator. Now let's talk about why these 10 things work better than expensive gear. Expensive gear is optimized, designed for specific conditions, lightweight, compact, efficient. But optimization means specialization, and specialization means fragility. Your $300 sleeping bag works great until it gets wet, until the zipper breaks, until you lose it during evacuation. Then it's worthless. These 10 cheap things are redundant, modular, replaceable. You lose your aluminum foil, you still have bubble wrap. Your candles run out, you still have Mylar blankets and hot water bottles. Nothing is optimized, but everything works. And when you combine them, they work better than the sum of their parts. Aluminum foil lining plus bubble wrap plus cardboard plus trash bags plus wool socks plus a hot water bottle, that's not just insulation, that's a survival system built from $10 worth of trash. Here's the other thing. Expensive gear attracts attention. In a real crisis, the person with the $500 Arctic-rated parka becomes a target. The person wrapped in trash bags and cardboard looks like they have nothing, which means they're ignored. And ignored means safe. You're not trying to look prepared. You're trying to stay alive without becoming a robbery target. These 10 things also teach you something expensive gear doesn't. They teach you physics. Why does aluminum foil work? Radiant heat reflection. Why does bubble wrap work? Trapped air. Why does cardboard work? air pockets and wind blocking. Once you understand the physics, you stop needing the list. You start seeing everything as a potential heat source or insulator. That roll of packing foam, insulation. That stack of old magazines, insulation. That pile of dry leaves, insulation. You're not buying products anymore. You're recognizing materials, and materials are everywhere. So here's what you do tonight. You don't spend $500 at an outdoor store. You spend $20 at a dollar store. Aluminum foil, bubble wrap, newspaper, cardboard, trash bags, duct tape, candles, Mylar blankets, wool socks, water bottle. You take that pile of garbage home and you test it. Turn off your heat for one night. See how long you stay warm using only these 10 things. You'll learn more in that one night than you will reading 100 survival blogs. Because survival isn't theoretical, it's experiential. And experience teaches you that warmth doesn't come from money. It comes from understanding that your body is a furnace, and these 10 cheap things are just the walls that trap the heat. The power stays out. The cold presses in, but you're not shivering. You're layered in foil, bubble wrap, and cardboard. You're wrapped in trash bags. You're wearing wool socks stuffed with newspaper. You're holding a hot water bottle. You're sitting in a room lined with Mylar and insulated with old boxes. You look insane. You feel warm. And warm is all that matters, because you didn't spend a fortune. You spent $10, and you survived. Not because you got lucky, because you understood that physics doesn't care about price tags. It only cares about trapped air, reflected radiation, and blocked convection. And those things are free. You just have to know where to look.